Great. So again, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. This webinar is to talk about all things Family Weekend and give you all information, maybe a little more digestible than what is on our website, because we know it's a lot of information. So today our agenda is going to be going over the schedule. What are those events that are included? What are add-ons? What does it mean to be a red shell event or a ticketed event? We will have a walkthrough of the registration form. We'll discuss important dates that you need to be aware of, tips for planning your time, some frequently asked questions, and then we will wrap up with Q&A time. So first, an overview of Family Weekend. Family Weekend is going to be October 3rd through the 5th, so Friday through Sunday. Events typically start around noon, 1 o'clock on Friday, and then go through brunch on Sunday. There's more than 60 events over those 3 days. This is the largest event specifically for families of our University of Maryland undergraduate students. And to attend Family Weekend, there is a general registration fee that is required for all attendees, including your student. So it's $30 per person for adults, $25 per person for UMD students, and then $15 per person for youth. And for registration purposes, youth is ages 12 and under. So again, if your student plans to attend Family Weekend at any point, you'll need to register them or include them in your registration. There will also be add-ons or ticketed events that you can purchase in addition to what you will receive with the general registration fee. And so we will talk a little bit more about that. We also will have t-shirts available for sale. We have special Terrapin Club membership offers for families who register for Family Weekend, as well as a discounted football ticket offer. And all of these materials, your t-shirts, your tickets for events, your Family Weekend parking permit, those are things that can be picked up at the Family Weekend Welcome Center. Your Terrapin Club membership is going to be a digital membership that Jennifer will talk about. Your football tickets will be delivered virtually as soon as you purchase those. And then also we'll discuss a game day parking permit that'll be required. Those are the three things that will be delivered to you digitally and will not be at the Family Weekend Welcome Center. So again, your Terrapin Club membership card, your discounted football tickets, and your game day parking permit. Those will all be delivered electronically once you purchase them. So I talked about a registration fee. What is included in that registration fee? So you will receive for each individual that is registered a Family Weekend wristband. And this wristband provides access to what we consider our red shell events. So when you're looking at the Family Weekend schedule online, you'll see red shells next to a lot of the events. Those are our red shell events. And again, those are included in your Family Weekend general registration. So that includes the President's Open House, access to Epley and their facilities. So there's Epley is our gym, our workout center. They also have a climbing wall and adventure course. So you have access to those with the Family Weekend registration. Terp Zone and the golf course. Terp Zone is our bowling alley, game center. There's pool tables, things like that. We also have our academic colleges and schools. We'll be doing receptions and open houses, so you'll be able to attend those. And then we also have various tours, movies, and other events and sessions throughout the weekend, such as our study abroad session. We'll have a first year book session. We have a session with the Career Center. So there's a lot of other opportunities throughout the weekend that you can attend with the Family Weekend general registration or the Family Weekend wristband. We also will have one of our hallmark events, the Terp Family Festival and Tailgate. So this is really fun on McKeldin Mall. There will be a DJ, face painting, photo booth, games, all that fun stuff prior to the game. So all families are welcome and encouraged to attend that. As part of an add-on, we will have a barbecue meal offered. And so if you're wanting to also take part in that barbecue at the Festival and Tailgate, you will have to purchase a ticket for that. But you can attend the Festival and Tailgate without having to purchase the barbecue meal ticket. And then you must register for Family Weekend general registration in order to be able to access those add-ons, in order to purchase a t-shirt, in order to get the discount for football tickets and things like that. And then also included in the registration, we have some fun Terp Family swag items that you'll pick up at the Welcome Center. And now I'll pass it over to Jennifer, who will talk about what those add-ons include.
Yeah. So outside of the $25 to $30 that you would pay for the registration, there are other things that you can purchase to enhance your family weekend time. Do you want to go to the next slide? Okay. So specifically for Friday, so October 3rd, when you arrive, we do have a paint a Terp. There are sessions that are offered throughout Friday and Saturday. And so when you're, and Kelly, I know Kelly will go through it, but if you're on the registration site, you'll just pick which time you want. And you'll come anytime in between that 2-hour block and paint. And you receive a cute little turtle bank and access to paint and paintbrushes and aprons for those of you who are messy when you paint, like me. And then you also, that evening, we are also doing Not Your Grandma's Bingo. That includes bingo sheets and a dabber. You can do VIP reserved seating, which gets you closer to our drag queen. And then we also have all of this all is going to Fostering Terp Success, which is a group on campus, a department on campus that raises money and helps support students who are experiencing homelessness or coming from the foster care system. So it's also going to a good cause, and I know it's a great time, sells it every year. And then add-ons for Saturday, October 4th, we have a 0.5K for Terp's essential needs. You'll get to do stretches that are led by Testudo, which is so fun. And it's 0.5K. And I make that distinction because it's not a 5K, it's a 0.5K. And it's literally around McKeldin Mall. We have donuts and coffee. There's the family weekend brunch. That's a dine and go open seating. Come at your specific time. And there is a jazz trio there. And then, like Danny already mentioned, the barbecue ticket for the Terp Family Festival and Tailgate, while all the activities included are included in your wristband, the barbecue to eat there, and there's a huge tent there that has all the foods. To eat there, you would need to have that that registration already happening, and you cannot purchase it on site. And I say that because we get every year where people will try to purchase it on site because they're like, oh, just kidding, we're hungry and we actually just want to eat here because it's convenient and it's in the middle of everything. And so we encourage you to bring stuff from, the Stamp Student Union or walk 10 minutes to get food if you don't register. So I highly encourage you to register if you know you're going to want to do something like that. And then for Sunday, we have the gospel brunch. I think it's our 20th anniversary of doing the gospel brunch by the Washington Performing Arts Society. It's homestyle Southern cooking. It's a great time. And it's really a great way to kind of wrap up the weekend. And then we also have the Testudo Family Brunch. So that's actually located on the golf course. And you'll see that there's also some deals going on with the golf course during family weekend. So you can try to match it up to where you can go play your golf and then do your brunch. And there's time slots for that listed. And so you'll just want to make sure you're paying attention to time slots for the various events. Additional add-ons, again, like Danny already mentioned, the 2025 t-shirt that you'll want to purchase and wear one of the days. That is the design below, and it needs to be purchased by September 3rd. They will not be for sale on site. When you come into the Welcome Center and you're trying to get your stuff, you're going to see all the t-shirts, and if you did not purchase one, you cannot purchase it on site. So just know if you want a t-shirt to commemorate the weekend or snap that great family photo, that you'll need to purchase those in advance. And then there will be no refunds after September 3rd, and you'll pick up when you come to the Welcome Center to register, whether that's you or your student. And then every year, no matter how many times we put many slots for Paint a Terp, it always sells out rather quickly. And so we've offered this year as a new opportunity a to-go kit where you can go to Studio A, which is located in the Stamp, and pick up all the supplies you need, including the little turtle bank, to do your Paint a Terp on your own time. So that could just be, downtime for you and your student and your family. Just know that the to-go kit is something that you would take the supplies and go. It's not something that you would do in the studio. And then Danny touched on the Terrapin Club membership a little bit, but that is something that is usually offered every year, but specifically for Family Weekend, it's discounted. And it's something that's valid for the full year. You'll see that it's valid through June 30th, 2026. So there's different levels, and that includes discounts on many locations, not just in College Park, but around the DMV area. That's hotels, food, activities, things like that. You get parking priority and pre-sale access for athletic tickets. And it's a digital membership that'll be delivered to whoever's registering for it, but then you and your student can use it. So if your student registers for it, it's a digital card, they can send it to you and you can use it, or vice versa.
Great. Thanks, Jennifer. So we're going to get into registration. It can be kind of overwhelming when you first begin because you're not sure what things you need to register for, what things you don't. So we're going to go through some things to know before you begin that process, but then also we'll do a walkthrough of what it looks like to register. So things to keep in mind as you're starting that process. The registration form will time out after 20 minutes. So it's really important for you to know ahead of time what events you plan to go to, how many tickets you'll need for certain events. So that way when you get into the form, you can make sure you complete that by the 20-minute mark. We run into this every year. If your student plans to join you for any of the Family Weekend events, they need to be registered or included in your Family Weekend registration. It happens a lot at meals, and especially if we have assigned seating at meals, it causes problems if we've only assigned 4 people to a table and there's actually 5 people. So it's really important if your student is going to be attending any of these events with you that you purchase a ticket for them. The registration form only includes those events that you need to register for in advance or you need to purchase tickets for. So things like Paint a Terp or the President's Open House or other academic open houses, the meals. Those are things that require advanced registration. But there's things like going to the movie and bingo on Saturday night, or going to Epley, the rec center, or going to the driving range. Those things you don't need registration for, or an advance registration or ticket for. You just need the Family Weekend wristband, so that won't be a separate event on the registration form. So again, only the events that you need a ticket or advance registration for will be on the registration form. We are not able to accommodate wait lists for events that sell out. The registration form updates in real time, so you'll just need to monitor the registration form and monitor those events that you're interested in, because as families make changes or cancel their registrations, those seats will become available. And then I mentioned at the beginning, so parking permits, game day parking permits, and then football tickets, those must be purchased separately through the Department of Transportation Services and Maryland Athletics, excuse me. They're not included in the Family Weekend registration since they are managed by other offices. So those will be separate things that you'll need to purchase in addition to registering for Family Weekend. So now I'm going to pass it over to Kelly, who's going to do the registration walkthrough for you all.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen here with the wrong information. There we go. As I mentioned, I work with conferences and visitor services. And so our office handles all of the registration for Family Weekends. So we're super excited to have you guys access this registration portal. And we know that there are some times where there are questions. And so we thought it would be really helpful to kind of show you right now our test mode. So this is in a draft session. So if there are little out of alignment pieces, that is why. But this is accessible this will be accessible next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Correct? Yes. Yes, next Wednesday, right? Danny? Next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to confirm. I didn't want to share incorrect information. But that will be accessible off of this website. There will be a button that will provide you with access to register. From that point, you'll come to the main page here. And again, there's a lot of information and a lot of it has already been discussed. So we list out the fees, some samples of what's included, information about football and parking, the family weekend welcome center hours. And then this portal does accept all credit card types. So you will have to have your credit card with you to complete your registration. And then we do accept cancellations and changes up through Wednesday, September 17th. So there are a few exclusions for cancellations, such as t-shirts, donations, and the Terrapin Club memberships are non-refundable. However, if you do cancel within the time frame there, we are happy to refund any of the fees paid, less a $30 processing fee, just to cover the cost associated with the registration process. You have the ability to come back to this screen after you've completed registration. And at the very bottom of the page here, in your confirmation email for your initial registration, you will receive a registration code, and you will have an opportunity to enter that code at the bottom of the page, click continue, and it will pull up your profile along with any of the tickets that you've already purchased. So if you need to remove tickets, add tickets, you will have that opportunity to do that independently by coming through this page with your registration code. So to walk you through the registration process itself, our first tip is to please go to the schedule page here on the Primary Family Weekend website. And as Danielle and Jennifer discussed, all of the items are listed here that are part of Family Weekend. There will be some that require no pre-registration, and so they will not display within the registration process. But I encourage you and your family to sit down, look at your schedule, look at what time you plan to arrive, depart, if there are any overlapping of programming that may cause conflict, and try your best to make decisions on what it is you plan to attend before registration opens. Once you do proceed to registration, you have about 20 minutes to complete your registration because items from inventory will return back. So again, that's why planning ahead can be helpful. You'll fill in all of the required fields here on the first page. The person's information who's listed here will become the primary contact. So that will be the person who receives emails. If you'd like to include a partner, your student, to also receive a copy of emails, you can check this box and add the email here so that more than one email address can receive the confirmations. You'll see here the $30 fee will apply for that first adult, and then any additional attendees. If you have second parent coming, if you have other family members or friends, you would add them here at the $30. Again, if your student plans to participate with you throughout the weekend, that in order to receive the wristband, you'll register them here, and then you'll proceed through. So we'll just go ahead and add one for each of them so that you can see the different options. Sorry, all these pop-ups. Okay. So as we proceed, once you do that, it will ask you for additional information for your people. And then the student's information will also include selection of their school and then any living learning programs they may be participating in. The reason for that is there are a variety of events that will only display for students in specified departments or college or schools or programs. And so by identifying that, if one of those are an option, they will display on the next screen. If you have any special accommodations that you'd like to report, please include that here. And then this next screen is the big screen. This is the ticket screen. So this will be the screen that displays in a moment all of the ticketed events. So you can see here that based on the selection that I made, an option came up just for you. So this is a free event, but advanced registration is required for those involved in this living learning community. I also had a school of public health option here that came up. And so these are out of order, but these are exclusive offers based on your previous selection. Other than that, all of the events will show up underneath the appropriate time and date, or date and time rather. And then you'll include the number of tickets that you're interested in purchasing or reserving in the box identified. Again, these are optional, these are not required. Your registration fee includes other options and sessions to participate in. And so you can add as you wish through this whole weekend of events. Here are the barbecue tickets that were mentioned, the various paint a Terp time frames, and then the Sunday brunches are also included here. You then have an option to purchase your t-shirts. This is the Paint a Terp to go kit if you'd like to purchase that and for a pickup if you're unable to attend one of the timed sessions. Terrapin Club membership, and an option to donate. This is an important page just to ensure you're reviewing and accurately determining what you've purchased is listed. So in this case, I didn't add any tickets to my registration. So here we'll just simply see the registration fees for the individual attendees for Family Weekend as a whole, along with the 3% processing fee. If you were to have purchased any tickets, they will display under the transaction detail, and they will also display under a section for agenda items. So I encourage you to please review this page before providing payment and clicking continue. If you did take a long time to go through the process, it's possible that some of those ticketed events could have returned to inventory. So you do want to make sure that at this point you are confirming and see everything that you intended to have. If you didn't, you can simply click an edit button and return to the previous screens to make any revisions. This is obviously in test mode, so you'll be able to provide your credit card information here. And then upon completion, you will receive a confirmation email to the addresses that were provided. Are we seeing the confirmation email screen here? Okay, perfect. So this is a sample of a confirmation email that you will get. So we can see that we have a registration code that will allow you to re-access your registration through that primary entry page, along with important information to read regarding where to pick up your materials, cancellations. So there's a lot of information in here. We certainly recognize that, but it is a good reminder and reference that you can go back to at any time. Additionally, you will receive the football ticket email. So you will also receive the email regarding the ticket offer. So that will come as a second separate email, which will give you the some frequently asked questions as well as the link so that you can go ahead and purchase the tickets at the reduced family weekend pricing. I think that that's the gist of registration. We did go over the primary questions that come up with regards to registering your students. I'm sorry, I don't know where my bar came to stop sharing my screen. Can you take back power there? Okay. All right. So yes, that's registration in a nutshell. It is a pretty straightforward process. However, it's a lot of information. So we realize that people can get overwhelmed. We monitor the email address familyweekend@umd.edu throughout the duration of registration being open. We also have a phone number listed within the confirmation email should you require help, and that will come to the Conferences and Visitor Services office. And we're or any questions, or if you've run into any difficulty with the process, please reach out. And I think that's it for me.
Great. Thank you, Kelly. So I know that was a lot of information going through the registration site. So now we have what are some things to do after that? We mentioned this already. Kelly showed you how to do this, but you can make changes to your registration by visiting the already registered section that is located at the bottom of the registration landing page. So you'll need to use your registration confirmation number that's included in your confirmation email. You'll input that and it'll pull up what your registration is, and you can make changes that way. And again, that must be made by the deadline on Wednesday, September 17th. Additionally, if you are wanting to cancel your entire registration, you're not planning to attend family weekend anymore, you'll need to send them an email to let them know that so that they can cancel the entire registration. You won't be able to do that yourself by logging in. You can only make changes to your registration, but to fully cancel it, you'll need to email them directly with that. Be sure to keep an eye on your inbox. We'll be sending communications periodically as we get closer to the event. That'll be really important for you to know. So just make sure you are monitoring your inbox. And then in late September, the Family Weekend Guide will go live on the UMD app. So if you've gone through orientation within the last couple of years, you may already have the UMD app downloaded. Once the Family Weekend Guide goes live, you'll be able to see that as a tile within the app. You don't need to log in to view it or anything. It'll just show up on the persona page. And so you'll be able to go in. It'll have much of the information that's on the website, but that'll be really helpful as you navigate through the weekend. And more information about that will be shared once it's available. So discounted football tickets. I was responding to some of the questions in the chat, but as of right now, the game time has not been announced. This is determined by the Big Ten, and they have yet to announce game times. They typically don't do this until about 10 to 14 days prior to the game, which, yes, that's very close to the game. Makes planning a little bit challenging, but that is their process. And so once we know the game time, we will send that information out to everyone. After you register for Family Weekend, as Kelly said, you'll receive an email with a link to purchase the discounted football tickets. I don't have a specific percentage or dollar amount of what the discount is because it's based on what tier of seat you're trying to purchase. But you're welcome to contact Maryland Athletics, their ticket office, and they'll be able to share more about the pricing of those tickets and what the discount is. If you purchase tickets before you receive that ticket offer email, the discount is not going to be applied. And then this is a question we get every year. If you want your student to sit with you at the football game, you will need to purchase a ticket for them. Students do receive free football tickets, but that is for the student section only. So if you are wanting your student to sit with you, then you will need to purchase a seat for them. Students are able to purchase guest tickets, but it's typically only 1 or 2 tickets that they're able to purchase depending on the game. And so I wouldn't assume that you'll be able to get their guest ticket. It really just depends on the game and the student. So if, again, you want your student to sit with you, please make sure you purchase a ticket for them for the football game. So important dates. These are listed on the Family Weekend website, but I put them here because it is really important to know. I know there are a lot of different dates. So registration will open next Wednesday, August 13th at noon, and all of the times are Eastern time. There is an earlier deadline for purchasing or canceling your purchase of t-shirts. That is because we have to order them and receive them. And so we don't just have a mass inventory of t-shirts. So we only order what has been purchased. So again, if you're wanting t-shirts, please make sure you purchase them by the deadline or cancel your shirts by the deadline. Any shirts that are purchased will be bought from the company. We will have them and will be available for pickup. If you have any accommodation requests, please make sure you submit those as well by September 3rd. We do offer attendance grants. We know that attending Family Weekend may create a financial burden for some families, and so there's information on the Family Weekend website regarding attendance grants and how you can apply. So I encourage you to review that, and if you and your student are eligible, please go ahead and submit that application. Decisions will be sent to the person who registers or submits the application, and then we will go ahead and help with assisting to register and all of that. For the ticketed events, the advanced registration, the deadline for that is Wednesday, September 17th. That is also the deadline for any cancellations, changes, or refunds that are still available. So again, the t-shirts, the cancellation date has already passed for that. So cancellations regarding like your full registration, changes to any events, that kind of stuff is due. The deadline for that is Wednesday, September 17th. New this year, we are allowing for a late registration period. This will only allow you to register for the general registration. So you would receive a wristband, you would receive the giveaways, the swag that we have. There's not going to be any option to add add-ons, ticketed events, or refunds during this time. The add-ons and ticketed events, our campus partners need registration lists, need to know their capacity, need to know who plans to attend their event so they can place orders and food and catering, things like that. So we're not able to allow registration for those events that close to the event. So again, that's why we're opening this late registration period, but those add-ons will not be available. The late registration will provide you access to the President's Open House, the Terp Family Festival and Tailgate, the Epley Center, the driving range, climbing wall, Terp Zone, and then other sessions that don't require advanced registration. So planning your family weekend, it's really important to make a plan with your student. We run into this every year where families will register for all these things for family weekend and then realize their student is actually not going to be here because they have a trip to make with a team or a club or something like that. Please confirm with your student what's their schedule, when do you plan to meet up throughout the weekend, who will check in at the Welcome Center to pick up your materials. We always encourage students to come and pick up their materials if they can. Usually it's easier for students to come and do that between classes. But we are available on Friday and Saturday for folks to pick up their materials. But again, just make a plan with your student ahead of time. Determine what events you want to go to. Everyone is welcome to attend events with or without their student, but if that is the case, we just hope that you enjoy quality time with them at some point while you're here on campus. And then again, make sure you register for events that require advanced registration because you won't be able to register for them on site. So some frequently asked questions. I did respond to some of these in the chat, but I want to spend time going over them now because it is something that we get asked often. When will the game time for football on October 4th be announced? Again, the Big Ten usually announces kickoff times 10 to 14 days prior to the game, and we will share that information with you as soon as it becomes available. What if I register for something and I want to cancel it later? Do so before September 17th, unless you order a t-shirt, which must be canceled by September 3rd. This is a big one. Are classes canceled on Friday, October 3rd? No. Faculty are not expected to alter class schedules for family weekend. However, some may be flexible. And so your student should notify their instructor if they plan to miss class. Additionally, we get questions on if families can attend class with their student. That is up to the faculty member. The capacity limits for the classrooms are different depending on the class, and so it's really important for your student to communicate with their faculty member and inquire about if guests are allowed and what that process is. So please have that conversation with your student if you would like to attend class with them. When should we plan to arrive, and then do families stay for the entire weekend? As I mentioned at the top of this, events begin in the afternoon, early afternoon on Friday. And so we encourage you to arrive around that time so that you can make most of your weekend. And then events will wrap up on Sunday afternoon. You don't necessarily have to stay till Sunday afternoon. It really just depends on what you're wanting to participate in. So that's why it's really important for you to review the schedule of events to see what you and your family wish to do during that weekend. Does my student automatically get to attend everything during family weekend? No. All attendees must register for family weekend. It's important to note that the Office of Family Engagement, who coordinates all of this, does not receive any tuition or student fee money. So we are all self-funded. We are putting this on for families, but because we don't receive any tuition or student fee money, students also need to register and pay to attend this event. Can I get on a wait list for sold out events? We are unable to provide wait lists for our events, so that's why, again, it's really important to monitor the registration form for any updates to events. As tickets become available, they will be populated on the form. When will I get the t-shirts I ordered? T-shirts, along with most other Family Weekend materials, can be picked up at the Family Weekend Welcome Center. And again, this is with the exception of the football tickets, the game day permits, and the Paint a Terp kits. So the football tickets and the game day permits will be provided digitally once you purchase them, as well as the Terrapin Club membership. And then the Paint a Terp kits you would pick up from Studio A. And then do I have to purchase a game day permit even if I'm not attending the game? Yes. So game day parking is a beast here, as with any big athletic schools. So parking on Saturday is really restricted to game day parking. So if you plan to park on campus at any point on Saturday, you must have a game day parking permit, regardless of your attendance at the football game. And when you purchase your game day permit, you're able to select what lots you want to park in. You are welcome to park in any of the lots as long as you have a parking permit for that lot. So this was a lot of information. And again, this is being recorded, so I will be sharing this on our Terp Family YouTube channel later today. But that is the formal section of our presentation, all of the information we wanted to share with you. So now I will take some time looking through the Q&A, and we can respond to questions that way. So please make sure if you do have any questions, put those in the Q&A, and we can help go through those.
Hi. I just wanted to chime in with regards to the parking, and I apologize if you referenced this already. But for the Saturday, just because this is a question that we get often, for the Saturday parking on campus, even if you do not intend to attend the football game, if you will simply just be arriving and hanging out on campus on Saturday and not attending the football game, you will still require a parking permit. So whether you pay for parking off campus or you plan to drive your vehicle onto campus, if it's Saturday, you will need a separate permit. So you may need to purchase a permit through the parking website for game day, even if you're not attending the football game. So I just want to clarify that because I know that that is a question that we often get on Saturday. And at that point, it is sometimes difficult then to provide alternative options.
Yes, and I do want to add, I didn't include this previously, but now that we're talking about parking, so included in your registration for Family Weekend, we will provide you parking permit for Friday and Sunday. We can provide parking on those days, but it's just Saturday because it's a game day. You have to have game day parking for that day. So again, it's for all day on Saturday for parking when you purchase that game day parking permit. There were a couple questions about the various schools and open houses. So the open houses that have been put on the schedule, those are the ones, those departments have said they want to host an open house. If the academic program is not listed, they did not offer an open house or program during that weekend. It's possible they may have some folks around on Friday if you're wanting to visit them. I would just encourage you or your student to contact them directly, that academic department directly, to see if there's anyone around that you can meet that day. But again, The only schools that are on our website are the ones that said that they wanted to host an event during family weekend. That is also why it's important when you're registering your student that you indicate what school they're a part of, because based on the information that you select there will impact what events populate on the next page. So if your student, there was a question, a student is uh, undecided right now, but they plan to go into BSOS. If that is your goal, you're wanting to attend the BSOS event, make sure that you indicate their major is BSOS. There is one program that is open to all families, regardless if their student is in that school, and that's public policy. They wanted to open their event to anyone who's interested in public policy. So if that is of interest to you, you can go to that event. And I will say their building is really nice. It's right next to our building. So even if you just want to get out of the heat for a little bit, that's a fun building to go to and look around. There was a question as well about the shuttles on campus. So the shuttles will be running their general schedule, and so families are able to ride the shuttles as long as it doesn't say it requires a UMD ID. Those routes that require a UMD ID are typically the commuter routes that go further away from campus. So you'll just need to check on the Department of Transportation website. It has the shuttle routes, and it will tell you if a UID is required. Also, when the shuttle arrives, it'll say on the marquee at the top if a UMD ID is required.
I also saw several questions regarding the ability to park at the College Park Metro Station. So, kind of to piggyback on Danny's statement about shuttles operating, that is an option. Maryland football game days, parking at the College Park Metro Station is $15.
Thank you. Um, There was a question about the parking permit for Friday and Sunday. That parking is included in your family weekend registration. So you'll receive that from the Welcome Center. It'll be a hang tag for your car, and you'll also receive a parking map that will tell you which lots you can park in and at what times. So that will be provided to you all at the Welcome Center, and that is included in your family weekend registration. Uh, Also, family weekend tickets will go live and be available for purchase on August 13th. So that is next Wednesday at noon. So again, August 13th, Wednesday at noon. The metro parking, the cost for parking at the metro station was $18 a day. Is that what you said, Kelly?
$15.
$15 a day for the Metro parking, College Park Metro. And there is a UMD shuttle that goes from the College Park Metro to campus that families can utilize. And there's no fee to use the campus, the UMD shuttle from College Park Metro to campus. Um,
I was gonna also just mention one more thing about parking, because I know that that is like a hot topic. If you guys have been on campus and experienced the parking, it is a lot. So we do always encourage you to please read the parking signs as you're parking to avoid any kind of parking tickets. Again, as referenced, we will provide you with a map identifying the parking lots that the family weekend permit gives you access to. And then you will be required to buy a permit for the Saturday game day. If you have an ADA accessible parking permit, you still are required to park in the parking lots that you are provided a permit for, unless you find um, handicap parking on the streets or not in a specified lot. For game day, you can certainly check out the ADA accessible parking options available, but that they do have separate ADA accessible parking at Stadium Drive Garage, so you can reference that through the athletic parking website.
yes, thank you. Parking is very intense here on campus, as maybe you're noticing if you haven't already experienced it. So that's why it's really important. We have a travel and parking webpage on the Family Weekend website, and it also links to the Department of Transportation Service website regarding game day parking. So just really important for you to review that information. There were a couple questions that I wanted to make sure I mentioned. Regarding the festival and tailgate, so there won't be other vendors with food other than the barbecue tent. And again, you have to purchase tickets in advance in order to eat that food. But you can bring food to McKeldin Mall where the tailgate is going to be. So we encourage you to go to Stamp, the Student Union, where there's food available. There's also local restaurants within walking distance of campus that you can purchase food from and then bring it to the festival. And the festival will have seats and tables. So good question. I think this may be the first time we've been asked that, and now I'm like, that's a great question. So yes, we will have chairs and tables for folks at the tailgate and festival.
I will also say the Family Weekend website that Kelly had pointed to is a great resource to really dive in deep to what all the events are. We did a really brief overview of that today. But if you go to the website and you look through each of the days and you look at the different events, there's descriptions. And then for things that are like the gospel brunch and the tailgate and all of that, they even have links to menus so that you can see like, oh, before I pay, $40 to attend this, like what am I going to be eating? And we work with a dietitian to make sure that we offer things for allergies and gluten-free and all of that. So that is all there. And we thought of you in the process, but just know that their menus are posted as well so that you can see if that's something that you and your family would like to partake in.
Yes, thank you, Jennifer. This may have been one of the more important things to cover at the top of this, but can you all see, oops, uh, can you all see the screen with the website? Okay. Um, so this is the Family Weekend website, which has all of the information. So at the top, you'll see the toolbar here. There's the schedule of events. When you click on that, you can see Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You'll be able to scroll through. Here is what talks about those red shell events. And then you'll see on here if registration or tickets are required, it will say that in the event description. So really important to review the schedule. And then for register, when you click on that, you'll see there's registration details. There's a page about football tickets, t-shirts, Terrapin Club, and attendance grant. When you click on those, there's a lot more information available. The important dates, as I mentioned, are listed here. We'll put the recording of the webinar in this tab now that it is happening. Registration fee information, parking permit information, all of that is listed here. So again, football tickets, t-shirts, Terrapin Club, attendance grants. When you go to plan your visit, there is a travel and parking, welcome center information, as well as accessible accommodations. So again, travel and parking, information on getting to campus, and then parking on campus. So really important based on when you're planning to arrive, what the parking options will be. I do want to mention when it comes to accessible accommodations, the university is unable to provide wheelchairs. So if you have a family member that will need a wheelchair, there are local businesses where you can rent wheelchairs or electric chairs for your family members, but we, the university, are unable to provide those to attendees. So please make note of that. But there's information about accessibility accommodations here. And then there's helpful information. So we have a long list of frequently asked questions. Many of those were talked about today, but FAQs are listed here. Click on a question, it'll take you to the answer. And then contact us. So depending on what it is that you have questions about will depend on which office you want to contact. So anything regarding online registration, you'll want to contact Conferences and Visitor Services. That's Kelly's team, and their contact information is here. Anything regarding football tickets or athletic tickets, because there are some other athletic events throughout the weekend, you'll want to contact Maryland Athletics. And then any other general information regarding family weekend, maybe the types of events, things like that, you can contact our office, Family Engagement, and our contact information is there. And then Family Weekend would not be possible without our sponsors, and so you'll see this page start filling out shortly. But these are the folks that help us in putting on Family Weekend and making sure that it is possible. So I do encourage you, spend some time on the Family Weekend website. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are all here and available to help. And I think, oh, there's one question in the Q&A. Per the game day parking permit, the tickets are available 6 hours before game time. It is about 99% that we will not have a Saturday night game. Athletics has shared that with me. And so that is not something that we have been shared information about, but if that does happen, the parking permit that you're provided will be able to allow you to enjoy campus for the entirety of Family Weekend. But we will send more information out about that. If that is the case, our plan A is that the kickoff will be a 3:30 kickoff, and plan B would be for a noon kickoff. So that is generally what we plan for. That's why the times are what they are right now. Plan A is for a 3:30 kickoff, and Plan B is a noon kickoff. And if that does happen, we have a noon game, then the festival and tailgate would end up being after the game. We would move the festival and tailgate to be after the game. That information is listed on the schedule of events. But then also, if any other campus partners decide to adjust the times for their events, we will let everyone know as soon as we know. So I think we answered all of the questions in the Q&A. Thank you all for staying with us for this hour. This has been helpful for us. We hope it's been helpful for you. But if you have any questions, again, like I mentioned, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are happy to help. And we hope you all will register for Family Weekend next week. Registration opens August 13th. That's Wednesday at noon. And we can't wait to see you all in October. Thank you for spending your day with us, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks, everyone.